Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health and well-being and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Now, before we start today's sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are celebrating International Blessings of the Fishing Fleet Day, which is celebrated on first Sunday in October. So this year, it is on October 6th. This festival aims to bless the fishing fleet right before the fishing season begins. People pray for a fruitful season and the safe return of everyone on the fleet. Some people in the fishing community ask local clergy to bless the rock lobster pots they created in private ceremonies. Versions of these celebrations are held globally on different dates, although the purpose essentially stays the same. This event has been around since ancient times and was first recorded in the places around the Mediterranean fishing communities, according to multiple sources in the West. One story mentions a ship of Sicilian crusaders who brought a beautiful statue on board. When beset by a terrible storm, their ship landed safely at an Italian fishing village called Molfetta in the southeastern Italian region of Puglia. They believed the statue was the reason for their survival and built a sanctuary for it as a tribute. They celebrated this event asking for a continuous protection when they sailed, and the International Blessings of Fishing Fleet was born. This event, called Festa della Madonna di Matres, spread around Italy and later the world. Before Christianity, local priests or holy men would give the blessings. Over time, this event became associated with the Christians and Catholic churches. Following Catholic tradition, some communities hold the event on Mother's Day in a tradition that originated from England, held in the honor of Lady of Fatima, which is patron saint of Portugal and mothers in their parish. This celebration sees people decorate her statue with fence and fresh red and white flowers, red for living mothers and white for the deceased, with a decorated anchor placed at the foot of the statue. The more traditional celebrations also include dropping an anchor into the water in the memory of deceased fishing folk from that community. As immigration increased, Catholic immigrants took the celebration with them to their new homes. As it spread, this event took on different rituals and traditions that varied according to the community. In all religions, in a similar way, it is celebrated, but this gained popularity in the West as the Christian religion, Christianity took over and it spread over to other countries. So today the ceremony is held by people of any denomination, depending on the area where the blessing is given. The blessings also vary as per the community and religion. Traditional blessings are given to the fishing community, sailing communities, and pleasure boaters get blessings for calm water, sunshine on the bows, and the wind beneath their sails. Even in India, we see people treat seas and oceans as Ganges and as Ganges mother. They pray the Ganges mother for safety, security, and also abundance. Abundance of fishing produce, fishing catch in the society. Apart from that, in various cultures across the nations, they have rituals based on their communities. The celebrations around this day range from small-scale religious masses, contests, and feasts to large-scale parades. Today is also commemorated as World Communion Day every year on first Sunday in October. Christians around the globe celebrate World Communion Day. It is a day to remember that Jesus Christ is the head of the church and that every citizen, every Christian church who is a citizen of church, that is, Christians, and any denomination that promotes Christian unity are one. On this day, people draw faith and inspiration from seeing that they are part of the community and boast millions of believers and worshippers. As per the Bible, communion is a Christian sacrament, and the consecrated bread and wine are consumed as memorials of Christ's death or as symbols for the realization of a spiritual union between Christ and communicant, or as a body and blood of Christ. So, bread from all over the world features prominently in these celebrations. Try your hand at baking. Like different varieties are there: Nigerian flatbread, Irish soda bread, Japanese rice patties, sourdough bread from San Francisco, and there are a lot of other bread varieties. You can check out Global Ministries website for different bread baking recipes from all over the world, whichever you like. Today is also commemorated as National Physician Assistant Week, which is celebrated every year from October 6 to 12. Treating patients in today's complex healthcare settings take a whole team of professionals. Among these medical workers are physician assistants, broadly trained in the wide spectrum of conditions and tasks. Their education focuses on patient education, preventive care, and chronic care management. They can help patients improve their quality of life and manage chronic conditions. Physician assistants are unsung heroes and deserve their moment in the limelight. So this week is to celebrate them and be thankful for their efforts. Physician assistants are medical professionals with thousands of hours of training. Their skills enable them to diagnose illness, prescribe medications, and perform many medical tasks. As their name implies, PAs work closely with doctors and other healthcare providers. In most states, a PA has an agreement with a specific physician and practices alongside them. Physicians can oversee up to 4 PAs. The supervising physician doesn't have to be present when PA is practicing, letting them take care of other tasks while the PA continues patient care. Physician assistants can prescribe and administer medication, acting on behalf of their supervising physician. In some cases, PAs can even perform surgical procedures that use local anesthesia without the supervision of the physician. In contrast with nurse practitioners who specialize in one area of medicine, PAs have a strong background in general medicine. This enables them to notice things that specialists might miss, making a crucial component of a complete healthcare team. By relieving some of the duties of physicians, PA help elevate the pressure faced by overworked doctors and strained hospitals and clinics. Established in 1968 as the American Association of Physician Assistants, the American Academy of Physician Assistants was instrumental in the development of nationwide standards and PA certification. Today, they promote the profession and lobby for the benefits of its members. Its first members were graduates of Duke University Physician Assistant Program for the first in country. Today, there are 140,000 PAs practicing in the US, making 400 million patient interactions each year. This week is also commemorated as Mental Illness Awareness Week from October 6th to 12th. Mental Illness Awareness Week occurs in the first week of October, and this entire month is celebrated as Mental Health Awareness Month. And also, October 10th is celebrated as World Mental Health Day. So this week is exclusively commemorated as Mental Illness Awareness Week, as millions of people live with a mental illness, and it not only affects them, but also those around them. Family, friends, or co-workers, Mental Illness Awareness Week is run in collaboration with the National Alliance of Mental Illness, in short known as NAMI. So NAMI's goals are to raise awareness of mental illness and fight discrimination and provide support through Mental Illness Awareness Week, in short known as MIAW, MIAW. This has become a dedicated time for mental health and advocates across the country to come together as one unified voice. During this week, events are held to promote community outreach and public education concerning mental illness. Events include art, music events, educational sessions, advertising campaigns, health fairs, prayer services, movie nights, candlelight vigils, and benefit drinks. MIAW coincides with similar campaigns in early October, such as World Mental Health Day, Nation Depression Screening Day, and National Day Without Stigma. National Alliance of Mental Illness, NAMI, started as the Parents of Adults Schizophrenics, a non-profit association that was made up of family support groups that were seeking answers and treatments for their loved ones affected by mental illness. They changed their name to Alliance for the Mentally Ill of San Mateo. The creation of this organization spurred a national movement where members push for more research, greater support, and broader public awareness. The growth of this movement resulted in the establishment of National Alliance on Mental Illness, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. In 1979, the National Alliance on Mental Illness was incorporated. The Alliance opened its first offices in Washington in 1980, and in 1982, it was appointed to the National Mental Health Advisory Council. In 1984, Shattered Dreams and Scrapbook were aired nationally. These were NAMI's first public service announcements. In 1990, NAMI established the NAMI Helpline. In the same year, Congress officially established Mental Illness Awareness Week. In 1999, NAMI participated in the first White House Conference on Mental Health and launched the NAMI Family Support Group. The Stigma Free campaign was launched in 2015. It was celebrated by lighting of the Empire State Building green. That year, they also printed with Alpha Kappa Alpha Inc., the nation's oldest sorority, founded by African American college women. Their goal was to expand mental health education awareness and support activities on campuses and in local communities. In 2019, Stop the Stigma, a conversation about mental health featuring NAMI experts, was aired on CBS this morning. It was also in 2019 that the NAMI Provider program became part of the curriculum for the Des Moines University School of Osteopathic Medicine, third-year medical students. So your mental health can change over time. Mental health is dependent on many factors, and this means that a person's mental health can change over time due to circumstances. In the US, statistics reveal that there are about 1 in 20 people with a serious mental illness. Several factors can contribute to the risk of suffering from a mental illness. About 50% of children show first signs of mental health and disorders before 14 years old, and 3/4 of mental health disorders begin before age 24. There are more than 200 types of mental illness. There are certain stigmas around mental illness. This week breaks down these stereotypes, misinformation, and discrimination. The information shared contains stories and experience of those living with mental illness every day. Their shared experience make this illness very relatable. By reaching out, creating conversation, and allowing discussion about mental health, you are showing support and understanding. This is needed by all the people living with this condition. Today is also commemorated as World Cerebral Palsy Day. CP, in short, cerebral palsy or cerebral palsy, is an unwelcome global phenomenon, and World Cerebral Palsy Day, which occurs annually on October 6, reminds us there are over 17 million people impacted by this disorder. CP is one of the most common physical disabilities affecting the most vulnerable among us, children especially. Additionally, CP occurs over the span of the child's entire lifetime with no cure. This year became a catalyst for change to help improve the lives of those with cerebral palsy. Both children and adults with cerebral palsy deserve to be heard. If you have the disorder, or you are a parent, caregiver, or friend of someone with CP, blog about your experience, post pictures throughout social media, letting everyone know about World Cerebral Palsy and why it is important. People with CP need to burst out of the shadows and shout their confidence. Although there are over 350 million people who are connected in some way to cerebral palsy, there are lingering misconceptions about this disorder. There are cultures that believe CP is contagious, but whatever there is darkness of ignorance, wherever, there must be a way to shine the light of education. By attending an event on cerebral palsy like this, you can find out what different countries are doing to create awareness, and you may even come up with a few ideas for your own neighborhood. Sadly, there are many children with cerebral palsy who may experience feelings of isolation from not living in a composite, accessible environment. If you have a child or know a child with CP, throw a party or set up a play day, because all children need to play. And at the party, set up easy games for younger children and video games for the older kids, and make the environment festive as well as a day they will always remember. It mainly affects children. The number are chilling. 1 in 4 children with CP are unable to talk. 1 in 3 can't walk. 1 in 2 have a mental or intellectual disability. And 1 in 4 have epilepsy. So 1 in 500 infants is born with cerebral palsy. Almost half of the people with CP were born premature. In many societies around the world, people with CP are kept uneducated and hidden away from the rest of the community. In Netherlands, a baby is born with cerebral palsy every 22 hours. In order to correctly examine cerebral palsy, it's important to note what it is not: a disease. In fact, CP is considered a disorder. Their effects of CP change from person to person. Those effects include a weakness in one or both hands, epilepsy, intellectual disability, and a total inability to control movements such as walking. One of the big goals of Cerebral Palsy Day is to promote inclusive societies and for the people with CP. One way to accomplish this is to educate the world on the idea that CP is not same or some isolated disorder. In many societies, people with CP are either pitied and overprotected, or they are regarded with suspicion. Some cultures believe that a mother was cursed for doing something wrong. If her child was born with CP, World Cerebral Palsy Day is an opportunity to produce actions that will lead to more minds and societies. Cerebral palsy is a worldwide disorder affecting millions of people, primarily children. Global organizations are collaborating together to take on big issues which CP sufferers face. According to World Cerebral Palsy Day organizers, there is an active group of families and organizations in 65 countries working on improved CP diagnosis and treatment, better quality of life, educational opportunities, and charitable contributions to fund continued research. Today is also commemorated as National Coaches Day, especially in the US, so no question. Parents and teachers play a defining role in shaping a young person's life. But let's not forget about the coaches, especially today, National Coaches Day on October 6th. The US Olympic soccer gold medalist Julie Foudy once said that their sports not only build better athletes, but also better people. She should know the lessons learned in athletic competition translate perfectly to all aspects of life. That's because nearly all of the traits we associate as positive in other people play a crucial role in sports as well. Confidence, communication, teamwork. We won't succeed on the field, in the office, or at home without them. The world's best coaches, from Little League all the way to World Cup exemplified this winning tradition. "93% of the American parents think sports coaches create a positive impact on youth lives. 87% of parents says their child looks up to his or her sports coach as a role model. 98% thinks it's important for coaches to stay positive even when the team loses. Parents think coaches play nearly twice as important as a role in inspiring a young player's love of the game than parents or team. About 65% of parents think their child's coach dedicates an equal amount of time to every player on the team and does not show favoritism or single any players out. 61% of Americans think coaches do not receive the recognition and appreciation they deserve. The sports parents believe that sports have the biggest impact on inspiring players, treating all the players equally, pushing them to be better, personalizing coaching methods to each player, putting in extra coaching time, giving the best pep talks. Nearly all age parents agree coaches teach their players the importance of teamwork and patience. The qualities sports parents believe are most important in a good coach: natural teaching ability, dependability, patience, empathy, passion, dedication, encouragement. When it comes to the most important life skills coaches teach their players, 52% of American parents agree it's teamwork. Perseverance is a distant second at 20%, and dedication coming in the 15%, and leadership coming in the 7%. 43% of the American sports parents think the most part of their being a coach is dealing with argumentative parents. Yet only 12% of the parents say they themselves have gotten into an argument with their child's coach. A whooping 80% of the American sports parents think it's okay for coaches to be tough on their children. Only 20% of parents think their child's coach is too tough on him or her. 20% of the parents think the most difficult part of being a coach is the pressure to win, while 15% say it is staying positive and 14% say it is players who won't listen. This is a study conducted on by London marketing agency, survey titled FlipQ National Coaches Day Survey in US. So certain parents have a long history of getting too involved in their kids' teams. Watch your boundaries. Coaches need to make it tough decisions as far as the playing time and strategy. Try to resist overstepping unless you see something really wrong, and consult with other parents. Get a reality check. Volunteer to coach if you have expertise in a certain sport. Some leagues might allow you to get involved, even if you don't have kids on the team. Watching young players learn, improve, and grow can change their life and yours. Perhaps nothing more important than your enthusiasm. What's the point of your young slugger smacking a 2-run triple if no one else dared to jump up and down and yell, woohoo? Ask any pro athlete about inspiration, and they will likely mention their parents as well as their coaches. Younger kids are often not as competitively driven or looking to have fun rather than a championship. By making practices fun with drills disguised as games, your kids will feel like they are playing. while learning the basics and fundamentals of the sport. If you are dealing with rowdy kids, they have a backup activity in mind. That way, you can make sure to keep things under control and you will remain the authority figure on the field. Have a plan B. Kids often take many cues about what adults to trust by who their parents trust. If possible, find out how the kids are doing in school, what their other interests are, and if they have any special needs that should be addressed on the field. Pamper the parents. Star power doesn't work. Go ahead and recognize your understanding outstanding players, but don't put other players down or ignore them. In youth sports, everyone needs support and encouragement, regardless of ability. This type of coaching boosts confidence in your players and makes sure everyone feels included. In other words, let everyone pitch an inning or take some shots along the way. Kids develop social cues from the adults around them. Stay calm and composed in the face of loss. That will help instill good sportsmanship in them for the future. Kids who engage in sports have more success in school, feel physically fit, collaborate, and communicate better with their peers, and have more successful careers. Stats for youth sports show that the average cost to play is over $1,000 per child each season. By helping fund the game, hopes to contribute to our kids' lives. Political pressures, including a reduction in governmental spending on recreational sports for schools and communities, make this a perilous time for our young athletes. Plus, teach has a way of stealing kids' attention. In fact, millions of kids are less accounted by just 5 years. Many parents take out loans in order to finance their kids' athletic pursuits. Others will only focus on one sport, which can limit a child's choices. And in the most dramatic and all too frequent cases, parents decide to sit it out altogether. Helps parents generate funds while shopping for things they would normally buy, allowing them to earn money to their teams without borrowing money. Today, this month is also being celebrated as World Mental Health Month. So we'll have a lot of sessions coming up. And this month is also commemorated as Vegetarian Month and also World Animal Month and also World Habitat Awareness Month. Tomorrow we are celebrating World Habitat Day. So we request you all to join. So this month is commemorated as Vegetarian Month. That is the entire month of October 2024 every year. Whether you are a vegetarian or not, there's a lot of excellent reasons to participate in Vegetarian Month this October. By definition, a vegetarian is a person who decides to abstain from meat, whether it be for health, religious, or moral reasons. We collected some ideas that will help you celebrate Vegetarian Month, and you will even find out why you love this month. Interested in purchasing a vegetarian themed gift? We'll also try to cover that as well. Writer Anna Thomas published a classical book highlighting the beauty of meatless dish, The Vegetarian Epicure, in 1972. The American Vegetarian Party formed in hopes of finding a candidate to participate in the US presidential elections in 1947. William Alcott, a relative of Little Women, author Losia May Alcott, helped start the first vegetarian organization in the country, the American Vegetarian Society, and marks the vegetarian movement in 1850. Instead of referring to someone who abstained from meat as Pythagorean, the term vegetarian came into existence in 1847. Greek philosopher Porphyry wrote a book boasting about the benefits of a meatless diet on abstinence from animal food in 3rd century BC. Many dietary experts urge to cut back on animal products on Mondays during the month of October. Make it a point to whip up a vegetarian dish for dinner. Cooking classes are a fun way to learn some new skills in the kitchen. To celebrate Vegetarian Month, why not learn how to make dishes without using any meat or meat products? For some of us, the month of October can get pretty chilly, so consider taking your green thumb indoors. An indoor garden helps ensure that you will have some fresh herbs and veggies to use throughout the winter. Plant an indoor garden. Research indicates that abstaining from red meat may enhance the sex appeal of male pheromones. Smart people eat their vegetables, as you may have studied his famous Pythagorean theorem. But did you know that Greek philosopher Pythagoras was a devout vegetarian? Plants produce 10 times more protein per acre than meat. It's a protein punch. Benjamin Franklin was a vegetarian, although he went back to eating meat later in life. India has the highest percentage of vegetarians when compared to all other countries, roughly 30% of the population. Not all vegetarians live a healthy lifestyle, but studies have indicated that a vegetarian diet may help prevent some serious diseases, and a vegetarian diet may lead to a longer life. While eating a vegetarian diet won't necessarily slash the cost of your grocery bill, there is a chance you'll need some savings if you go a couple of weeks without purchasing expensive animal products. Yuca veggie pizza, French fries, hummus, ice cream sundaes count as an all for all of. This month is also commemorated as World Animal Month, which is observed every year in October to celebrate animals. Animals are an important part of our ecosystem, so they definitely deserve their own month. And this month is used to appreciate animals and find their meaningful solutions to problems they face. Information is spread about endangered species and what we can do to preserve them. Many special events are held around the world to mark this holiday. Animal lovers and environment enthusiasts take a special interest in the holiday and use it to do some good for the animals around us. World Animal Month is an annual celebration of the lives of animals around us. It is an opportunity for us to notice the creatures and the issues affecting them. Animals have many benefits for humans and the general ecosystem. Animals have served as companions, helpers, guards, guides, hunters, and even a source of food. Every animal has something that makes it special and so deserves to be celebrated. The holiday helps set up treatment and protection services for at-risk animals. Over 80 countries participate in observing World Animal Month. And this day started at a convention of ecologists in Florence, Italy in 1931. This day aimed to raise popularity and awareness for animals. This is supposed to help improve the standard of living experience by animals around the world. Some animals live in such poor conditions that their continuation of their species is greatly threatened. This threat affects us all because every animal has their part and role to play in maintaining the balance in our ecosystem. It is our responsibility to allow animals to live safely and carry out their natural duties. Many times humans use animals in unlawful ways, unethical ways, to feed their greed for money. Therefore, World Animal Month has been established to make us of our wrongful actions and to encourage us to follow path of natural order. The day is observed in different ways around the world with displays from different cultures and religions. The common goal is simply to make sure animals around us can live comfortably without being threatened by unfair treatment or worse, extinction. If you don't have your own pet, you can play with someone else. Pet an animal. On this day, animals love being petted, and it's also fun. During this day, you can also think about adopting a pet and giving them a good, loving home. A zoo can be a safe house for some animals. Use this opportunity to visit them and contribute to their care. Take your family along so that they can also contribute to the safety and love of animals. The more, the merrier. There are amazing organizations dedicated to the care of animals. A donation would go a long way. There are amazing organizations dedicated to care of animals. A donation would go a long way, improving the lives of many animals. Money, food, or even voluntarily joining organizations are great ways to show you care and contribute in cash or kind. Pigeons can be trained to recognize different artist styles like that of Claude Monet and Pablo Picasso. While chimps have been discovered to drink fermented palm sap, which contains about 3% alcohol. The pattern of an animal's stripes can be as unique as a fingerprint. Animals have roamed the earth for thousands of years. They always have been there, here, everywhere. Animals have feelings, they have emotions just like us and sensitive to ill treatment. This day helps to garner support for animals and provide them with better care. Animals are our friends as well as our responsibility. It is our duty to show that we care for them. This day also helps to spread information about what is happening in the animal. This day often leads to more people getting pets. It also sets a minimum standard for how pets are to be treated and cared for. Giving abandoned pets a home shows that we care for our animal friends. It also gives us altruistic joy. This month is also commemorated as World Habitat Awareness Month, as observed in October every year. It is a movement spearheaded by United Nations Urban October Movement. It is to raise awareness about how people can work together in creating substantial, carbon neutral, and inclusive cities and towns. It is a reminder that people have power over the areas they inhabit, from reducing carbon monoxide emissions, observing proper waste management, and to controlling urban greenhouse. It's a day to raise awareness on how to protect the ecosystem we are living. Before the introduction of World Habitat Awareness Month, the need for shelter have always been an epidemic in the American history. It dates back to 1946, a year after the Second World War ended, when a group of ex-servicemen founded the East Midlands Housing Association. Led by Peter Elderfield, the organization's goal is to provide subsidized social housing and sell affordable residential homes. There is no shortage of housing problems. What is needed are solutions, Elderfield said. In 1976, the EMHA discontinued its operations and was replaced by Building and Social Housing Foundation. Since then, the organization has carried over EMHA's legacy and has continued to provide housing solutions. The emergence of World Habitat Awareness dates back to 1985 when the United Nations declared October as World Habitat Awareness Day, and this would later on become a month-long observance. Its purpose was to recognize every person's basic need for sustainable shelter as well as eradicate the causes of poverty housing. It also aims to remind everyone of their power and responsibility to shape and own the town or city they live in. Ultimately, the goal is not only to ensure everyone's access to shelter, but also their ability to control their environment. Every year, World Habitat Awareness Month is hosted by a different city from all around the world with a specific theme. The first event in 1986 was held in Nairobi, Kenya, with the theme Shelter is My Right. So let's raise awareness on this day. And with this, we shall include the feedback form has been raised in the form of polls. Request everyone to quickly fill the feedback form before you leave the platform. See you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night.